As we've just been hearing, East of England MEP Patrick O'Flynn has become the latest high-profile member to quit UKIP. He says he can't support the party's leader, Gerard Batten, after he has invited the far right-wing activist Tommy Robinson to be his policy advisor. Now, he added that UKIP was now becoming an impediment to campaigning against the government's Brexit deal. Well, Mr O'Flynn, who's been a member of the European Parliament since 2014, will continue to be an MEP until we leave the EU in March next year. But in an unusual move, he's not only left UKIP, he has joined another political party, a party we might not have heard of for quite a while, the Social Democratic Party. Earlier, I spoke to the leader of the Social Democratic Party, William Clouston.
We're delighted to have Patrick join. It's a great day for the party. Most of our new recruits come from the Labour Party, so it's nice to have someone from the other side as well.
What is the Social Democratic Party, if it's not a rude question?
Well, we're the enduring Social Democratic Party. Obviously, the party had its original phase in the 1980s, and then there was a second phase from 1988 with David Owen's party. And from 1990 to the present day, you have us, which is the enduring SDP. Basically, we kept branches open up and down the country to keep the party alive. So it's been continually existing in the grassroots from that date.
But pretty much on life support, though.
Well, yeah, at a much lower level, obviously. I mean, the party made a colossal impact in the 1980s. It was phenomenal. So yeah, since then we've had councillors in pockets in East Yorkshire and South Wales and other places. But we've seen a strong resurgence in the last couple of years. It's been quite amazing. We've put out a new declaration because the original SDP was founded on the back of the Limehouse Declaration in '81, and we put out a new declaration this month, and the response has been absolutely phenomenal. So what do you stand for? Well, we're a communitarian, red and blue centrist political party. You've lost me already. Communitarian. Well, the basic idea is that over the last sort of 30 or 40 years, we've had a liberalism of two forms. We've had market liberalism and social liberalism. A lot of that's been positive, but instead of thinking about individual rights all the time and what I can get for myself, we should think about the community. And so say take a sector like housing. The Conservative and Labour parties over the last 30 years have thought very little about the whole scope of the housing market. So the housing generally has been marketised, and the government is not involved anymore in providing basic social housing, and we think that's wrong. Okay. What about Brexit, though? How do you stand on the European Union? Well, we're Eurosceptic. I mean, we basically founded on democracy, so we think the upper limit of democracy is the nation state. So we defend the nation state as basically the best format for democracy. And if you want to exercise power above that threshold, certainly on the basis the European Union does, you can't do that entirely democratically. Why not? Because key decisions are over things like immigration or interest rates or monetary policy or fiscal policy are basically put beyond the grasp of ordinary voters. They do it in America. Well, America is a nation state. You're making my point for me. Well, it's a federal state. Could you not have the same sort of United States of Europe? You could if you had a common political culture, but we don't. And that's the difference, is it? That's the difference. That is the key difference. I mean, the key difference is mutuality. In the United States, you have through its history, you have a development of a strong federal state, and Americans from Florida to California buy into that. In Europe, not so. If you ask for mutuality between Germans and Greeks, as you saw in the Greek crisis, that isn't forthcoming. Right, so the Americans think they're Americans. They don't think they're Texans. They're Americans first, they're Texans second. In Greece, they're Greeks first, and maybe Europeans second or third. That's right. I mean, we're all Europeans, and I would describe the SDP as a pro-European party, but not a pro-EU party. Right. So, quite a surprise from Patrick O'Flynn, don't you think? Well, no, Patrick's well known for his centrist economic viewpoint, and certainly he has the same sort of communitarian ideas as us, but we're delighted to have him on board.
And so what will this mean from the party going forward? Because he is a member of the European Parliament, and of course this means, I guess, you've got a member of the European Parliament now, does it?
We've got a member of the European Parliament, and the interesting fact about that is we've got as many members of the European Parliament as the Liberal Democrats have. I mean, in 1988, I voted to retain the SDP in the vote in the 80s, and obviously some people took a different view, and it's very interesting that all these years later we have an equal number of MEPs.
There has been much talk recently about the need for a new centrist party. Are you it?
Well, we're the original centrist party, and it's vital that social democracy as an idea is on the political table in this country. So yeah, we aim to put it back. Obviously, we've been in the grassroots for many years, and it's wonderful to see the party have a strong national resurgence now. So yeah, bring it on, and I would strongly urge people to read the new declaration, because that's basically the rallying call to get all social democrats that think like us under one roof. So with Patrick O'Flynn on board, can you see yourself putting forward candidates at whenever the next general election is? Certainly, we had 6 candidates up at the last general election. It was very short notice, obviously in 2017. We put 6 up, and we had some representation, but we're growing rapidly, so it'll be much larger scale. We'll just wait and see. I mean, we need to. The press hasn't covered the growth of the party strongly. We've been quietly growing in the regions, and Patrick's joining us today has been a great boost for us. Well, there you go. That's the leader of the Social Democratic Party, just joining me earlier on.